So we just got into Spike Camp and we started at 5 o'clock this morning and it's 5 o'clock tonight. We're getting ready to go hike up a mountain to go see if we can see a Dall sheep in the area. And when I was riding in this morning, and it was so beautiful, and the mountains here in BC are big and majestic, and it just reminded me that God has made such beautiful country. Everywhere I go, when I go sheep hunting, I feel like it is absolutely amazing, and it just takes me back to going, thank you, God, for this beautiful day. Thank you, God, for this wonderful ride-in with these people here helping me, and we're all a team that we're gonna go search for a Dall sheep that's a beautiful, legal ram, and that's the goal, and we're all having a great time together, and we're working together and just excited.
Rams are going to be pushed down in here somewhere.
Just all along.
I mean, they like it here. There's beds and tracks all over up on this ridge already. And there's another nice basin on this side. We're going to work down the drainage here and maybe come up the other side or go around the other side, other way around the mountain back up the valley to camp.
So we just have to be careful and work our way back down and try to just ease our way through that and just keep looking up everywhere.
Yeah, just not rush around the corner out in the open. Just poke along and glass and try and see them before they see us.
A successful hunt, provides this extreme high where you just feel so grateful that you achieved what you were out to do, harvested a beautiful, mature animal. You're going to take meat home to eat. The most important thing that it's done for me is it's embedded those memories of being out in God's beautiful country. I still think of people who ask me, what's your favorite sheep hunt? And every single sheep hunt is so special, but there's always one that sticks out, and it seems to be always the one that took the longest, the most difficult, the hardest. But I know once you can go through anything like that, you can go through any hunt and you can do anything anywhere. So it's just exhilarating and it fills you full of, gratitude. I know that I might not fit the mold of a sheep hunter being 5'2" and blonde, but I know my heart is with God, and I can do anything I put my mind to.
Okay, so we're day 3, and we need a positive word for today, because obviously anybody that hunts with me, every day we say the positive word to get us going in the right direction in this beautiful God's country. So yesterday we had Logan say the word. Sonny, have you thought of a good word?
Yeah, I think today, just looking at the terrain that we're getting into and the mountains we're gonna have to continue to climb and push through to find these rams, I think persistence is gonna be a good one. We've come a long way in here. We got a longer way to go. And then obviously, once we find them, the work really starts. So just gotta keep at it, stay persistent, stay behind the glass, keep helping each other along, moving through the mountains, watching out for each other in some of this nasty, slicker terrain that we've been in. And I think with a little bit of persistence, we'll find what we're looking for.
So there was a portion of my life when I didn't feel like I could ever be able to go on a sheep hunt, even though that was a dream that I have always wanted to achieve. And when I got sick and diagnosed with Crohn's, I ended up with multiple surgeries, and where I ended up relying on my faith and consulted with my doctors, talking about what I had a plan to go after a Dall sheep that I always wanted to. That was my dream. My husband was right there along the way, supporting me, saying, I'll be there right by your side, and we can do this together. That's when I decided I'm going to give it my all. So we went after my first Dall sheep hunt, which ended up being successful, and the love of sheep hunting, the fire was in me, and I knew at that point that was going to be my ultimate goal, to keep trying, keep climbing, keep going, and hopefully be able to harvest a Grand Slam was my ultimate goal, however long it took. Let alone now, fast forward after many years, working on my 4th Grand Slam now. So I actually give it all to God, my husband that supports me, and putting your mind to it, and just one step at a time, making it happen, trying your best, giving it your all, and it always seems to work out.
I'm going for it.
Does it take all that? Are you sure?
Yeah, 2. That's 2 cups.
So we're camped on the side of the mountain, sort of flat, and we're gonna try again tomorrow. But I went and scouted another route. I think we can get through. So you gotta work hard for the big rams.
That's right. So today is day 4. Right before we got to the top, we decided to come back down and then just camp halfway down, as you can see, which I don't see there's any more beautiful view than this to stay. And we're going to try to see if we can go up and see if it's a little less cliffy to get to the top, because we feel there's a really good basin, that there's potential sheep there. So, and we're going to be off, and here we go.
Seems like, sheep get hunted and there's pressure sometimes, and they find places where they don't get bothered. So
Right.
sometimes that's a spot you got to work a little harder for. But there's a lot of good country on the other side here, so I don't know for sure if sheep are in there. But if I was a sheep, I think that's where I'd be with all the, there's been a few hunters in here, and I'm pretty sure that none of them have climbed over where we're going right now. Did he see you? He saw something. He stood there and stared for a couple minutes, and then he turned.
Logan was in front, and he immediately dropped. He was in front of me. Then I dropped. And across the valley on the other side of the mountain, over here, he saw a ram. He knew it was a ram, and he immediately got still. And then he said it just kind of like was walking around, and like it got up. And then it went right back around the mountain, just patiently walking. We feel like we're right in their area where they come up in bed. So we don't want to rush it. We want to take our time, and we want to be cautious what we do and make sure the wind's right, and make sure we make the right decisions, and then wait them out and make a good decision, and then go after them. When we got there, we literally smelt sheep, and we went completely into hunting mode, but there was fog, so we had to wait till it lifted. So once it lifted a little bit, we peeked over, we hiked over into the bowl, and we saw sheep. We were so excited and immediately dropped down, got out our spotting scope, and they were not legal rams. So that was a little bit disappointing due to what we just went through physically with all of our gear on our backs.
Okay, today devotional is Psalms 51:12. Restore to me the joy of your salvation and uphold me by your generous spirit. Out of 1 Peter 1:8-9. Though you have not seen him, you love him. And even though you do not see him now, you believe in him and are filled with an inexpressibly and glorious joy. For you are receiving the goal of your faith, the salvation of your souls. Remember who I am. King of kings, Lord of lords, creator, sustainer of this vast, awesome universe. Take extra time to worship and adore me before bringing me your other prayers and petitions. This will awaken your heart to my glory and to the joy of my presence.
And the following days, as we were literally going high and low and working our way around every basin and looking into the other basins, we would look north, south, east, and west, and literally felt like we were turning every stone to try to see if there was an opportunity of another group of rams that were legal or to see something. And it was difficult, but we kept putting one foot in front of the other and kept climbing and kept trying. And it led to day 6. We kept climbing over. We went to another mountain and ridge. Day 7, we kept going over another mountain ridge. Day 8, to literally the areas in that seemed to be untouchable by people, and we felt like we climbed every basin that we could in the surrounding area to just keep hopes of a legal, mature Dall ram. Every day I just kept giving thanks to God and getting that strength and going forward and having a positive attitude and keep trying and giving it your all from early in the morning till late at night. I knew that we only had 2 days left of hunting, and we all talked about it, that we could either backtrack and go back in hopes that maybe some ram was gonna show up, or we could go around a very long, difficult terrain, and it was gonna be longer. We were gonna have to push ourselves every day, and we decided we were gonna do that, knowing that there is an untouched area we haven't seen, in hopes that we might be able to have an opportunity as we were hiking our way out. The one thing that I feel like sheep hunting is also is it's so much like life. When you are climbing up the mountain and you're halfway up there and you feel so fatigued and exhausted, like you don't think you can make it. And life sometimes brings you that way too, whether it's trying to work at a certain job or trying to make something happen or trying to deal with an illness. You feel like, I just can't go any further. And once you climb to the top and you actually push through that difficult of whatever that obstacle you felt like you could not get through, you know you can do anything. And there's just no doubt that there's not a God. It's just, that is it. Like, He will help you every step of the way. Just ask His help, He'll guide you. And that's also what I feel like in life. And then when you go down the other side, it's a little easier, and it's like, well, life has been just kind of going good. So there's always ups and downs in life, and there's always ups and downs when you're out sheep hunting. I keep going forward, and I'm like, I can make one mountain, and then I can go down, and I'm going to make the next one. And with God, I keep going forward, and I believe that to be true if we all just relied a little bit more on our faith and
one step in front of each other, and we're all going to have to go through difficulties, but we rely on Him. It makes it a little easier. I am so grateful that I physically endured all those days of trying, making every effort I could in hopes of seeing a legal ram to have an opportunity to harvest. And I don't look at it as a failure. I look at it as a success. It was one of the most physical, enduring hunts I've ever been on in my life. So it just made me even stronger as a person and closer to God. And I have total peace with it. And I'm looking forward to the next time that I'll be able to get an opportunity to go back and look for a Dall sheep.